we can use very simple math if you've got the right numbers at your disposal to figure out what the exact square footage is. Now, if you look at any given listing, so as an example, this is my listing for a condo in downtown. I have three things I'm looking for, okay? The first thing you want is the actual maintenance fee. The second thing we need is the total square footage. Lastly, we need the dollar per square foot. As long as you've got two of these three things, you can always go back and calculate whatever you need to figure out. So as an example, in my listing, I know that the monthly maintenance fee is verified and it's in the amount of $378.40. Now, in terms of square footage, I've pulled the actual assessment, I had the floor plan, and I know that the total square footage on this unit is 651 square feet. So if I've got these two things, what I can do now is I can go back and calculate the variable, which is the dollar per square foot. In order to do this, it's a very simple calculation. All you do is 378.40, and you divide that by 651, and this gives me a total of 0.58125. Okay, we can just cut it at 5812. Now, I've got all three of these. Okay, if, as an example, I didn't know the square footage was a question, as long as I have these two numbers, I can calculate the same. So now all I need to do is 378.40, and I can divide that by 0.5812, and this gives me my total square footage, so 651. Now, as long as you can pull any listing where this information is verified, you can now go back and always look up the figures for anything you don't know. So one thing you do have to keep in mind is that the same building will always have the same maintenance fee per square foot payable by the individuals. I know that the property address here is 30 Grand Trunk. You've got to make sure that it's only the same building you're looking within. You can do this per building, but don't use the same dollar per square foot for a different building because the monthly maintenance fees may be calculated differently. So as an example now, if I'm looking for available units in the exact same building, 4 or 5, so based on this here, I've got a couple of units here, okay? So let's just look at any of these. So this is, I know, a 2-bedroom here, okay? We know the monthly maintenance fee for this unit here, unit 1001, okay? So the monthly maintenance fee on that unit is 321.26. The square footage we want to calculate as an example, we don't know it. As long as I've got the other variable, which we've already calculated from a preceding listing, my own listing, and the information is verified, I can go back 321.26 and simply divide it by 0.5812. And when I do this, I know that the square footage for this unit is 552 square feet, approximately 553 square feet. Similarly, to show you that this works with a 2-bedroom, here the monthly maintenance fee is 543.39. Okay, square footage is again the variable in this instance. Here what we can do very simply is go back and 543.39 and divide that by 0.5812, and I get a square footage for 934.94. Okay, so this is how we can do this. As long as you've got any two of these figures, you can always go back and calculate the actual missing variable. And this way, doesn't matter, as long as you've got verified information for one specific unit, you can figure out any kind of square footage for any of the units in the same building, because the dollar per square foot is always the same.